to go to the root. We have to go to the cause. Dealing with the condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain, stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put two dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Tamir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coon. The white man that go nuts if he can't shoot. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Ahmadiyyah.
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, given to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay, miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They're trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations, I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
I'm getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation.
Queen.
Touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations. America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. I see a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all in Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat.
This is the sound of Eric Malcolm.
It's a cut on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans, and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating know me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got...
This is the sound of very fun.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so that you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. All right, I apologize for being late, beloveds, but I got soap in my eye. That's why I'm late. All right. So with that all being said, let's see who's in here. Now, keep in mind that I have another live starting. I just changed the time on it since I was late on this one. So the next live with all the scoop, 50 Cent, Rick Ross, Diddy, and all that nefarious stuff, that starts at 9:45. Okay, so we got to finish this up. All right, so with that all being said, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Dr._A_Shakur, TikTok at Dr. A Shakur, Twitter, DGoddess27. And if you don't like what the Queen is cooking, you already know you can exit stage left. Don't come in here complaining. Don't get up in my chats crying and whining, talking about why you still talking about Diddy. Because I want to. All right. Hey, Queen Sam, that crazy beach Aries, Courtney J, Aboriginal woman, Pauline in the house, Tia, Priscilla, Mr. Hotel. All right. Shout out to all of my loyal royals. I see you, Drama Proof, Latasha. Okay. 504, Nola is home. It's in the house. Deronda, all hell nah. All right. So let's get ready to get into it. I see you, Battle X, Jeff ATL, Edgewater in the house. You love Yah, Weezy, Ethelene, Mr. Elevation, Claudette, Danielle. All right. So let's get into it. Shout out to everyone in the chat and everyone tuned into the Queen. All right. This is the news that you need to know. Most of it anyway. The other news is just for gossip purposes, just because we love the tea. That's all I'm saying. Okay, everyone. Hey, Robert. Everyone, please. Buckhorse DC in the house. Everyone, please get those likes up. I see you, G from the land. Get the likes up, people. You all know they have the Queen's Shadow Band. I just want you all to pay attention. Now, first things first. Hold on. Let me delete this because this is just in my way. Hold on, I'm getting rid of some extra stuff so I can find my receipts easier. Okay, so here we go. First things first. Let's start off with the good news, okay? So enough nefarious news to go around. So let's start with the good news. There is a 6-year-old little girl who has an IQ of 138. 138. 6 years old. So let's get into it. I'm going to share my screen so you all can see this. I was thrilled when I saw this yesterday. Everybody get those likes up. Okay, here we go.
Pro on us. And now add Netflix and Max to your plan for just $10 a month. Only on Verizon.
When you think about a genius in the most generic term, the first person who comes to mind is probably Albert Einstein. But after you hear this story, you may want to change how you think. This young girl from New Jersey has an IQ nearly as high as Einstein's, and she's only 6. Here's Eyewitness News reporter Anthony Johnson.
What? I didn't know that.
She is bubbly, has a beautiful personality, and oh, did I mention she's brilliant.
Alkali metal, alkali.
At the tender age of 6, Declan Lopez is a member of the Mensa Society. For the rest of us, that means the smartest of the smartest, with an IQ of 138. We're talking Einstein level here.
I am interested in art, science, math, and geography.
The gifted kindergartner reads on a 3rd or 4th grade level.
No, like lanthanum, cesium.
Declan goes to school here in Dover, New Jersey,
9.86.
where she is a shining star.
Oh, my favorite thing to learn is force and motion.
Force and motion? So tell me the new word again.
Vexillology.
Vexillology. And what does that word mean?
The study of flags.
I didn't know that. Did you?
Oh, that's such a good hug.
Her parents started noticing Declan's intelligence early on when she was just 18 months old.
We were on like a trip and in the airport, and she just started to count in Mandarin.
So there is a challenge.
Puzzle activities.
Keeping this active 6-year-old intellectually stimulated with an activity chart while letting her be a kid.
I want her to laugh and joke and make mistakes and do things that 6-year-olds do.
On top of raising an exceptional daughter, there is strong evidence showing Declan's little brother Maddox is following in her footsteps.
I wrote my name.
The Lopezes are trying to figure out if brilliance runs in the family DNA.
09.
They add that Google Alexa has become their best friend because their kids know things they can't answer without artificial intelligence. But their kids are the real deal. Special youngsters thirsty to learn everything.
Hello, world.
And Rockaway Township, New Jersey, Anthony Johnson, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
All right, shout out to her parents. And here's the thing. I want you all to pay attention to something. Now, when parents have children like that little girl, we know that she obviously has good parents, right? Who make sure that she's learning and thriving and doing the things that she's supposed to do. I'm sure they do not allow her to listen to Sexy Red and Suki, which we're going to talk about Sexy Red in just a second. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that gets me. So when we see a child that excellent and that intelligent, all of that, we immediately give the credit to the parents, do we not? Once in the chat, don't we immediately give the credit to the parents or whomever the guardian is of said child? Isn't that what we do? I want y'all to put the ones or twos in the chat. Ones if you agree, twos if not. Now, the reason I pose this question, beloveds, is because I want you to also remember that when I tell you there's thugs out here at the ages of 11, 12, and 13 robbing people, carjacking people, doing all sorts of nefarious things, and then I say to you, who raised them? And I say, yeah, it's the parents' fault to some degree. And then some of y'all say, no, it's not the parents' fault. Yeah, it is. Just like it's the parents' fault that she's that smart and she's thriving and all of that, and she's so excellent in her studies. Yeah, that's the parents' fault. The parents definitely had a lot to do with that. And so with that all being said, when we have these bad arse children going around doing all sorts of things, it's the parents' fault. You see, I'm not saying the parents led them out there to do it, but what the parents do when you have those type of children, I guarantee you, the parents are not making sure they're going to school. They're not checking to make sure they do their homework. They're not looking over their homework when they're done with it. They're not having conferences with the teachers. They're not involved in the PTA. They're not doing any of those things, you see. And I know this. See, when my sons were in school, I joined the PTA. I went to parent-student conferences. I was always finding out what they were doing. I helped them with their homework. I always checked over their homework. Okay? And I know that children lie. So if they told me, oh, no, I don't have homework tonight, I said, okay, well, let me just go call your teacher. And then, oh, I do have a worksheet, you see. So you have to do your due diligence. At the end of the day, your children grow up to be thugs and hoodlums because you're not actively on their case as you should be. You could say, well, they hang out with the wrong crowd. Well, if they're hanging out with the wrong crowd, whose fault is that? You're not looking at their friends. You don't know their friends' parents. You don't know what kind of grades their friends are having. You don't know anything about their friends. You just let them hang out with anyone. See, when I was growing up, there was a certain house on my street that I wasn't allowed to go to. All right. I wasn't allowed to go there. And I also wasn't allowed to play with the project kids. None of us were. Now, that don't look at me and say I'm trying to be bougie or whatever. That was my mother. My mother said we're not allowed to play with the project kids because some of those kids were stealing cars, joining gangs and all that. And of course, all of them weren't, but many of them were. So we weren't allowed to play with them. Now, I'm not trying to put down anybody from the projects. I'm just telling you how my mother raised us. But at the end of the day, our parents knew who our friends were. Our parents knew if we tried to cut class or skip school. Our parents checked our report cards, our progress reports, and all of that, talked to the teachers and all those things. And so therefore, I did the same thing when I raised my sons. So when you're not doing your due diligence, that's when you raise thugs. And it absolutely is your fault. You see, if you raise failures, If your children are failing classes and making F's, those are your F's as well. Because if you were doing what you were supposed to do, they wouldn't be making those F's because you'd be on it before it got to that point. I remember I made a C one time in the 6th grade. I made a C and I knew I was going to get in trouble. My mother didn't play that. You better not make nothing less than a B. That's what we all knew. So I made a C in social studies. I never forget. And so I took a marker trying to be slick and changed that C to an A. And so when I brought the report card back all signed, my teacher looked at it and she said, why did you change your report card? I said, I didn't change it. She said, of course you did. Who else would change it? All right. Then she called my mother and told my mother that I changed her report card. And I don't even need to tell you the rest. So that's how that goes. So I'm just trying to tell you, when you have bad children who are out here carjacking people, who are out here stealing and doing all sorts of nefariousness, it's your fault. Okay. If your kids are hanging out with hoodlums, it's your fault. All right. Now, if you want to take credit when your kids are making good grades and going to school and doing what they're supposed to do, they're excelling in sports and being productive, you want to take credit for that, right? Well, take credit for all of it. When they're nefarious, take credit for that too, because it's absolutely all on you. Now, I digress. And speaking of that, let's talk about Kim Kardashian, because Kim Kardashian FaceTimed her daughter North so that she could speak to Sexy Red. Now, I want you to pay attention because they want to call Kanye West crazy. And then they'll act like Kim is a better parent than Kanye. Okay? Now, I'm going to let you all see this video.
What's up with you? So neighborhood hottest princess. Period. Hey. Thank you, Kim. Hi, Lauren. Okay. Thanks for listening to my songs, girl. See you. No problem. We're gonna go there right there.
Now, she said, I don't know if you all heard what she said because there was noise in the background, but she said, hey, North, thank you for listening to my songs, girl. How old is North? Isn't North 11 years old? But let's not forget, this is the same little girl that was on a TikTok video talking about her favorite movie was the Conjuring Part 3. And she watches it every day. First of all, why is she watching The Conjuring? I have questions. But very low vibration is all I'm saying. But here's the thing. I want you all to pay attention to something. All right? I want you all to pay attention to something. Now, you should ask yourself. You see, there's always an agenda. There's always an agenda. Why do you think that Kim Kardashian FaceTimed North on video? She could have FaceTimed North anywhere and let her speak to Sexy Red, could she not? Now, why did she feel compelled to do it on a video where she's been recorded and it's going to be on the internet? I'm telling you all. Why do y'all think so? Agendas, okay? I keep telling you guys that Sexy Red and Suki keep being put in front of us for a reason. For a reason. Now, if black folk who have these little girls that listen to Sexy Red's music, then they'll say, oh, well, ain't nothing wrong with it. Kim Kardashian lets her daughter listen to it. See, that's what that's all about. Because why would she do all of that? Why would she do all of that? All hell no said a cloud chasing that too. Why would she need to do all of that? You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, just pay attention, because Kim Kardashian, wasn't she a part of that whole Balenciaga thing that was going on? With all that stuff about with the children and those advertisements, and y'all already know what I'm talking about. All right, because I did a whole TikTok on it. Wasn't she all involved in that? But they want to talk about Kanye and act like something's wrong with him because Kanye was telling her to keep his daughter off of TikTok. Now, she's got a whole lot more going on now than having her daughter on TikTok. She's letting her daughter listen to Pound Town. I want y'all to pay attention. Yes, it is a shame. Yes, Shirley said she's a terrible mother. Yeah, she is. She is. That's a fact. But I'm sorry, but after seeing the videotape that she had out with Ray J, what other kind of mother would I expect her to be? I'm just saying. Okay, now let's talk about it. So you all remember the video that I showed you a couple of days ago with a black man who was tased by the racist Karen cop just because he was talking? Well, y'all ain't gonna believe this. Y'all are not gonna believe this update. Shout out to Jolly Good Ginger for going and getting those receipts. I need to have him on my show. I need to have Jolly Good Ginger on my show. I've really been thinking about that. I need to reach out to him. But this is going to blow your minds. I'm not that you'll be surprised because we know they do this all the time, but it's just the audacity of it. And here's the thing. I want you to marinate on the fact that we wouldn't even know what I'm about to show you if the cop had known that somebody was recording her, because she didn't know she was being recorded. Please pay attention. It's beyond nefarious.
I have startling new information about this video that's been going around the internet. This is Officer Dana Elmore, and she uses excessive force in the unlawful arrest of 24-year-old Micaiah Washington. I've been in contact with Micaiah's attorney, Attorney Leroy Maxwell from the Maxwell Tillman law firm, and I've received new information that you need to know. But first, let me show you the video in case you haven't seen it. Trigger warning, police brutality.
Stand up. Right there in front of the car. Stay.
I ain't doing shit, bro. I got gun right there. I'm not doing that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying, what you saying? Oh, yeah, fuck. I'm not, oh, my God.
Fuck up.
Okay. Down. Oh, my fuck. Oh, my God.
You want it again? Shut the fuck up. You was big and bad. Shut your bitch ass up.
Before I go over what he was charged with after all that, let me give you the 2 minutes that led up to that video. 24-year-old Micaiah Washington was changing his tire on the side of the road when Officer Dana Elmore approached him in her car. She began asking Micaiah what he was doing, and Micaiah informed her, "I'm changing my tire." She asked to see a driver's license. He asked, "Why do I got to give you my driver's license to change a tire?" She asked for more information, multiple times asked for his driver's license. He told her, "I don't need to give you my driver's license. I'm just changing my tire." And it was at that point that he pulled his cell phone out to begin recording the interaction. But he never got a chance to, because before he could even start recording, she tased him. Upon being tased, his phone fell to the ground. He fell to the ground and put his hands behind his back, and she cuffed him. After cuffing him, she put one foot on his back, standing on his back, and then made what appeared to be a call to another officer. At that point, Micaiah's brother started filming, and that's where the video picks up that you watched. Now, it's very important to note that Officer Dana Elmore did not know Micaiah's brother was filming. As you saw in the video, she put him on the hood, went to his pockets, and found a firearm. She didn't like that he was asking questions, and she began tasing him in the back, as you saw in the video. It's also very important to note that the only thing she pulled out of his pocket in that video was a firearm. So now, knowing that, look what they charged him with. Right here, drug trafficking. Officer Dana Elmore claimed that after pulling the firearm out, she pulled out 7 grams of fentanyl. They also charged him with possession of a firearm by a felon. They charged him with simple possession of marijuana, resisting arrest, and obstructing governmental operations. But guess what happened next? The video that Micaiah's brother filmed went viral on the internet. And it was only then that they found out there was a video of the arrest. And it was then that the state's attorney filed a motion to null pros the drug trafficking charge. Null pros means basically they're not going to press those charges. They're dropping the charges. Not the judge, the state's attorney. And let's read the motion, may we? It said the suspected narcotics were seized in connection with the arrest of the defendant. The video shows they were not. The suspected narcotics were field tested prior to the arrest. Wait a minute. If they seized them during the arrest, how'd they field test them prior to the arrest? Because that never happened. But then it says in the motion, further testing has since been conducted that failed to yield a positive result for fentanyl. You know what that means? I firmly believe that means they were planning on planting evidence to frame him for drug trafficking. That's my opinion on why they now can't yield a positive result. And because of that, he was under a $500,000 bond. But that has now been null prossed. Oh, and the ex-felon in possession of a firearm, he's not a felon. That's not even real. So that's also expected to be null prost. If not null prost, the judge will drop it anyway. The court's going to dismiss it. He's not a felon. Because of the trafficking charge being gone and the other stuff being null prost, his consolidated bond now is only $5,000 instead of $500,000 that it was before. So to recap, Officer Dana Elmore harassed and brutalized 24-year-old Micaiah Washington simply for changing his tire while black. And I firmly believe they were going to plant evidence on him and charge him with drug trafficking. All charges against Micaiah Washington should be dropped. All. And Officer Dana Elmore, who's currently on administrative leave or paid vacation, should be charged with assault and battery and for lying. So here's the call to action. Email and call the district attorney. We want all charges against Micaiah Washington dropped, and we want charges against Dana Elmore brought up immediately.
Okay, first things first, let me address a couple of, a couple of comments. Let me address a couple of comments. Because I saw Reggie said it seems like a skit and he has questions. And I saw Eileen say, is this real? What are y'all talking about? Don't be nonsensical. Come on. I know y'all have better sense than that. Y'all can't be that slow. Of course it's real. What about it looked fake? How does that look like a skit? When we know the police do stuff like this to black people every day. What about it look like a skit? That man didn't sound like he was hollering and crying in real life. Are y'all serious? I'm the one that has questions. What about it look like a skit? I have questions now. Eileen said, is this real? Of course it's real. Why would I be showing you a fake video, for one? Now, the sad thing is they have so many skits going around that some of y'all are confused and don't know real from fake. Now, I can see being fooled by some of the skits, but something this serious, come on now, seriously. And just in case you're still wondering if it's a skit or fake, I mean, he just put up the email and the phone number for you to call. It's a call to action. Okay, this is a very serious matter. It's not a skit. All right, I don't know how anybody could think that. Or that it's not real. It's absolutely real, beloveds. All right. Now, with that all being said, everybody needs to call that number. Everybody needs to raise hell. Okay, everybody needs to raise hell. Hold on, let me see what Reggie said. They do, but I'm curious as to why she approached the car with two black guys inside without calling back up. Reggie, you're not serious about that either, beloved. You can't be. So you think that a racist cop like that Karen we just saw is worried about pulling up on a car with two black people in it? Cops do that all the time when it's one of them. Okay, they do that all the time when it's one of them. And because he didn't seem like a threat to her. Okay, I'm sure if she felt that he was a threat, then she would have. But she didn't view him as a threat. He was changing his tire. If someone's changing their tire, what are they doing? They weren't just sitting in the car, Reggie. If you listened, Jolly Good Ginger said the guy was changing his tire. She just wanted to harass them. That's what that was. Because here's the thing. If someone's changing their tire on the side of the road, why would the police pull over, get out of their vehicle, and start asking you what you're doing? It looks like I'm changing my tire, doesn't it? So that's obviously what I'm doing. Why would you ask me what I'm doing if I'm changing the tire? That's how you know she was trying to start something. She was looking, fishing. She wanted to brutalize a black person. That's what she did. That's what she was looking for. She's not going to call for backup because she ain't worried about anything at that point. So now with that all being said, when he told her that he was changing the tire and she insisted for his that he give her his identification, which he shouldn't have had to do because he wasn't driving. He was on the side of the road. And like you said, why do I have to show you that when I'm changing the tire? So that ticked her off. That ticked her off. So you can't challenge their authority. You see, sometimes even when you know that you're right, just go ahead and show them the identification and save yourself the trouble. Because we all know that they only should ask for it if they have probable cause to think that you have committed a crime or in the process of committing a crime. But see, that doesn't work with cops like Karen. So for future references, if they ask for your identification, just give it to them. Save yourself the trouble. Because nobody needs to go through that. Not only did that devil tase him, she lied and said that he was trafficking drugs and then charged him with it. and lied and said that they found drugs on his person, which they did not. We all saw her pull the gun out of his pocket. He told her he had it. He said, I have a firearm. She took the gun and laid it on the car. And then I saw somebody leave a comment on the post where this was initially posted. And they said, I'm sorry, I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. But they said something along the lines of, oh, I wish he hadn't have been crying. Well, I say that a lot too. I say that a lot too when I see Black people crying. But I say that when they're crying over some BS. Like the lady who was talking about the Christmas tree when they got racially profiled the other day. You know, I thought that was just too much. Like, why are you crying about that? Because your feelings are hurt, because you got your ninja wake-up call. But when someone is crying out in agony and pain, that's different. You can't tell someone not to cry. And if they were paying attention, they would see that it was a gloomy day. It looked like it had just rained. It probably was still drizzly. And he's on a metal car, and she's tasing him. So, yeah, the electrical currents, I'm sure, would make him cry. So keep that in mind. But with that all been said, no, this is absolutely a very serious matter. This is not a skit. Okay, this is not a skit. This is all real. That lady's a low down, dirty demon. All right, at the end of the day. So with that all being said, thank you, Dan. Dan put the number in the chat. Call to action. Everybody needs to be calling down there. If you haven't done anything else for your people, call that number and complain about that cop. Let them know that you know what's going on. All right? Because if we don't raise hell about this, she's not going to get any consequence. She's just on a vacation right now, a paid administrative leave. That's nothing but a vacation. All right? That's nothing but a vacation. Period. So thank you, Terry Hinton. All right? So anyway, this is all. That really ticked me off when I saw that. Okay? And she got a kick out of it. When he was hollering out in agony and crying, she said, shut your bitch ass up. You was big and bad. That's what she said. She did all of that because she didn't like what he said. And let me tell you something. At the end of the day, how many people do y'all think that devil has done that to? How many people do you think that she has done that to? And the other police went along with it because they all were in cahoots. You saw the paperwork he showed you. You saw the paperwork with the charges. A $500,000 bond when all he was doing was changing a tire. That's how it is in the divided snakes of America. So when people try to paint this narrative that, oh, they shouldn't have resisted, we don't have to resist. We could just say something they don't like or just look away that they don't like. Be doing anything, be doing nothing, and that can happen. And that's why when I see Negroes sitting there talking about, I just never thought this would happen to me. You sound crazy. What do you mean you thought it would never happen to you? If you're Black in the divided snakes, it absolutely can. But anyway, I digress. Let me continue. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Let's get those likes up. Y'all know they have the Queen Shadow Band, honey. Pay attention. Now let's talk about Anthony Polito. Anthony Polito is the guy that committed the shooting in in Las Vegas. So let's get into it. Anthony Polito, 67 years old, who killed 3 staff at UNLV before being shot dead by cops, had a 15-page Zodiac killer theory on a website that also listed powerful organizations bent on global domination. This is all crazy. So they say he died in a confrontation. Well, first off, they say a professor who shot dead 3 workers at the university. This man was a professor. Shot dead 3 workers at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, wrote a 15-page theory on the Zodiac killer and posted about powerful organizations. Hold on. For those of you who don't know nothing about serial killers, who don't know who the Zodiac killer was, he's never been caught. He's never been caught. Okay, he was killing people in the early 70s to probably the late 70s or somewhere around there, mid 70s, but he was never caught. Okay, he was clearly nefarious. But let me continue. And here's the thing: the police actually could have caught him. They actually could have caught the Zodiac killer because the Zodiac killer had just committed a killing, and the police rolled up and they saw him because he's been described as a white man. They have sketches of him, but nonetheless, the police saw this white man and they let him walk on by. Active crime scene, but he walks on by because he's white. That's what it was. If it had been me or any of you, we would have been stopped, detained, and all of that, but they let him walk on by. And then later it came to their attention that that was likely the person that did it. So they could have caught this man. He went on to kill more people after that too. Pay attention. But I digress. So they go on to say, Anthony Polito, age 67, died in a confrontation with police after he opened fire on the 4th floor of the Lee Business School at 11:45 a.m., prompting a massive response from law enforcement. Now, officials are still looking into a motive, but said Polito was rejected from a teaching position at the school and may have known someone there. Police are currently searching Polito's home in Henderson, Nevada. So he did all of that. He did all of that because he didn't get a teaching position. But they act like we're so crazy. I just want you to pay attention. Now, Polito, who used a handgun in the massacre, had connections to schools in other states and was on staff at East Carolina University in North Carolina between 2001 and 2017. In addition to the 3 staff members killed in the rampage, another person was wounded and remains in critical condition. Prayers for their speedy recovery and condolences to the families of the victims. Now, the killer maintained a website about his life, describing himself as a semi-retired university professor and posting various topics, including his claim that decoded the cryptic message sent by the Zodiac killer. Yeah, that's another thing. The Zodiac killer sent a very cryptic message that many people were trying to solve, and so he claims that he solved it. Well, I'm sure he didn't, but anyway. In another section of his website, Polito wrote about his love of Las Vegas, conspiracy theories, and also posted fawning praise from former students. He said, I have lived in Georgia, Iowa, Nevada, New York, North Carolina, Virginia, and Wyoming. In my travels, I especially enjoyed Jackson Hole, the Outer Banks, Key West, and of course, Durham. He wrote in his biography section on the site. Now, there's another section titled Powerful Organizations Bent on Global Domination. Among the organizations listed are the Rothschild family, the Bilderberg Group. Well, I don't see where he's landing right there, to be honest, but let me continue. The International Monetary Fund and Economic Department of MIT. Now, in that section, Polito posted a link to a website created by far right-wing conspiracy theorist Alex Jones. Polito also listed his musical tastes, which range from crooners such as Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin to folk musicians such as Willie Nelson and Joni Mitchell. Some of his favorite movies include Michael Moore's Roger and Me, Oliver Stone's conspiracy-laden JFK, and the film version of Ayn Rand's conservative epic, The Fountainhead. Now, Polito lists among the greatest minds of the 20th century, Nikola Tesla, Albert Einstein, and George Soros. I don't know about George Soros. He needs to sit down somewhere with that one. Now, elsewhere on the page, Polito lists his own personal theories on various mysteries, including the Zodiac killer, the fate of Malaysia Airlines flight MH370, and the true meaning of the 2010 Leonardo DiCaprio movie Inception. Polito also notes that his love for Las Vegas, or he notes his love for Las Vegas on his website, writing, I had the pleasure of making more than 24 trips to there over 15 years. I don't gamble that much, but there is plenty to do there, and that's for sure. Over those years, my steel trap mind collected more information and trivia about Vegas than probably anyone in this state, east of I-95. He goes on to include a list of his favorite hotels and night spots in Vegas. Okay, are they going to give us anything that's significant? Because I don't really need to know about all this. Now, his failed job application was reported by 8 News Now, with sources telling the site that he may also have had connections to a person who works on the campus. Now, on his LinkedIn page, Polito claimed to enjoy hearing positive feedback from his students. So basically, this man was mad because he didn't get the job he wanted, apparently. Apparently, he was upset because he didn't get the job he wanted. He obviously loved Vegas and wanted a position there and didn't get it. And so that's why he's upset, I'm sure. So let's go to the press conference. Let's go to the press conference. I'm going to share my screen so you all can see this. All right, December White. Oh, and I meant to say this too. Janelle asked why would the attorney be talking to him? Because he, Johnny Good Ginger said he called the guy's attorney. Well, we don't know what they discussed. I'm sure he didn't give him anything that was attorney-client privilege. So Johnny Good Ginger likely called him to ask who the cop was, because they haven't released any information about that officer in the media. Okay, so he likely called to find out, you know, how the guy was doing, what the officer's name was, and what had happened to the officer, and things of that nature, because that's how I obviously got that information, because they sure haven't talked about it on the news, not to my knowledge. But let me continue. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance.
That there is no more ongoing threat to our community here in Las Vegas. I also like to tell you that we do know the identity of the suspect in this case, but I will not be releasing his name tonight until after the next of kin notification. As you all know, of course, this is a tragic day for all of us in Southern Nevada, and at approximately 11:45 a.m., LVMPD dispatch received reports of an active shooter at the UNLV campus. UNLV campus police responded to the scene and engaged the suspect immediately right outside of Beam Hall. LVMPD officers also responded simultaneously. I can tell you today, 3 of the victims are confirmed deceased. There is a 4th victim who suffered a gunshot wound and is now currently in Sunrise Hospital, upgraded to stable condition. In addition to that, there were 4 additional people who were transported from the scene to nearby hospitals suffering from panic attacks. 2 of our officers were treated at UMC for minor injuries, which were received while searching the vast rooms and buildings for victims at UNLV. Our hearts go out to the entire UNLV community. No student should have to fear pursuing their dreams on the college campus. What happened today is a heinous, unforgivable crime, but I want y'all to know something. It's a crime that we train for each and every day. When there's an active shooter threat.
Okay, at that point, he was just bragging on himself. So, like I said, condolences to the families of the victims. That's very sad. And also hopes for a speedy recovery for the person who's still in the hospital. And fortunately, they have been upgraded to stable condition. Okay, so now let's talk about it, because a former, and I'm going to speed this on up because my next live is supposed to be starting in a few minutes. So now listen to this. FBI crew member confesses to molesting multiple children aboard Celebrity Silhouette. This is all nefarious. I forgot to show you all the shooter's picture. Sorry. Okay, so this is somebody who works for the FBI out here doing this to children. Now, if you recall, just a week or so ago, I told you all about the that guy that did he work for the Pentagon, the CIA, that was out here doing all this stuff. This is all crazy. You can't trust anybody these days. You absolutely cannot. So anyway, let me share my screen so you all can see this presentation. I mean, this video. I'm thinking I'm on the spiritual channel.
Custody tonight, accused of committing a cruise ship crime. The FBI says it happened aboard the Celebrity cruise ship Silhouette that sails out of Port Everglades. Agents say crew member Chris Castor, a Philippine national who worked in the youth center, confessed to molesting multiple children after the parents of a 6-year-old came forward alleging he fondled their daughter. He remains behind bars in Broward County.
Low down, dirty devil. It's all nefarious. Just low down and nefarious. Okay, please pay attention. Okay, so anyway, let's talk about Cameron. Cameron says that he shot his shot at Nia Long. Now I want y'all to pay attention. Hold on. I'm going to let you all hear this. I'm not going to show it on the screen. I'm not going to show this on the screen, but I'll let you all hear it. Cameron needs to sit down somewhere. Cameron needs to sit down somewhere, talk about when he found out that she was had broken up with Ahmadiyyah. I think that's his name. And he got in her DMs and tried to shoot his shot. Now wait till I read you all the DMs because it's all nefarious. He really needs to sit down somewhere. Hold on. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance.
He did. Is he a great basketball mind? Probably so, but that has nothing to do with what he did to Nia Long. I wasn't even going to say none of that. You brought Nia Long into this. But I was going to say is
I said, yeah, white girls, you brought Nia Long into it.
Because you know why I DM'd Nia after the whole joint.
Cheated on Nia?
I DM'd Nia after the whole shit happened, man.
What did you send her?
Hold on. I'm going to read you what I DM'd Nia Long right after the Ndoka joint. As soon as it happened, I'll read it to you exactly what I wrote her because
you know what? You don't need niggas doing you like that, Queen.
Yeah, I was kind of perturbed for her. I'm gonna read exactly. Matter of fact, I'll have Stat read it because she's a better reader than me. Okay.
It's a lot. This is gonna be crazy.
Let the fan read what I wrote. This is right after.
This is right after.
Okay, cut off. Hold on. So I guess she didn't read it, but nonetheless, I'm going to read it because I definitely haven't. I thought it was all hilarious. Hold on. Now, first of all, the thing that got me was that he referred to this woman as stink. I'm sorry. Who's going to call a grown woman stink? Here's what he said. Hey, stink, I was giving you some time to yourself till I reached out. Your perseverance as a strong Black woman through this turbulent time has been something to behold. You shouldn't be taken advantage of and exploited as you did nothing to deserve this, especially all over these sports networks. You're bigger and better than that. You're a queen. And by the way, I'm a king. Together, we can achieve the greatness we both are destined for as a couple. Une vie à vivre. That means we have one life to live. Pardon my French, LOL. As I sit here sipping gazpacho and watching The Best Man, I was inspired to reach out because that's what I am. The best man for you. Hope to hear from you soon, mi amor. Or should I say, ni amor. I leave you with this. The most difficult thing is the decision to act. The rest is merely technical. If Cameron don't sit down somewhere, and I left off the best part. At the end, he said something along the lines of, till the sun rises and the moon falls. Till the moon falls. Cameron, I'm gonna need you to sit on down somewhere, okay? I'm gonna need you to sit on down somewhere, beloved. Now, let's talk about Jonathon Majors real quick. Let's talk about Jonathon Majors because Queen's pressed for time. Hold on. So Jonathon Majors' accuser, Grace Jabari, testifies that he flipped over her ex's dog. And so Grace Jabari also shared a recording, allegedly, of Jonathon Majors blowing up at her during another incident when she came home tipsy after going out with her friends. In the recording, jurors heard Majors yelling at Jabari, telling her she needed to be more like Coretta Scott King and Michelle Obama. Well, honey, I don't know why you thought she could ever be either of the two. Okay? And that she had moved away from the plan. In the recording, Majors exclaimed, I'm a great man. There needs to be a great woman who makes sacrifices. Jonathan Majors once lost his cool when his accuser, Grace Jabari, mentioned her ex-boyfriend's dog, at least according to her testimony. Now, Jabari, who flew in from London to take the stand at the NYC courtroom, spoke to the jury under oath Tuesday and described how she first met him, how they got involved, and at what point he allegedly started to show aggression toward her or around her. So this is all some BS as far as I'm concerned. Remember, prosecutors told jurors Monday during opening statements that what allegedly happened between them in March was actually just the boiling point of what they claim had been a controlling and abusive relationship, something Jabari testified to on the stand. This bitch is lying, but let me continue. Jabari said, because this is his fault. I blame him for this, because when you lie down with dogs, you wake up with fleas. But let me continue. Jabari said she met Majors on the set of Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, where she was hired as a movement coach, and explained that their relationship got serious quickly. However, at one point in December 2021, she testified she saw the first flashes of anger from him when she claims he flipped his lid after she brought up her ex's pooch. Jabari says that she was actually meeting Majors' own dogs at the time, and he was giving her instructions on how to behave around them, to which she replied that she was already familiar with dogs on account of her ex-boyfriend who had one. That's when she alleges that he lost his cool and started to raise his voice at her, apparently angry that she brought it up. Now, in court, she's quoted as saying, "How dare I mention him? And it's embarrassing to him. It's embarrassing to him that I dated him. His dog is pathetic." That kind of stuff. She also said this was the first time she ever became afraid of him, and she testified things only got worse from there. Jabari went on to describe other alleged instances where Majors lost his temper, testifying he once threw a candle in her direction and dented her wall, and that he allegedly once knocked her earphones off her head among other alleged moments of beratings. She also stopped and cried a lot during her testimony. Well, that's what Karens tend to do. And at this point, it doesn't sound like she's gotten around to describing the alleged assault in question, although prosecutors already alluded to it Monday when they alleged he threw her around like a rag doll in the car after she saw a text from what she thought was a woman, something he's denied. Megan Good was back in court looking on as Major sat at the defendant's table during Jabari's testimony. He reportedly did not look back at Jabari while she was on the stand. So anyway, I don't know when some of these people are going to learn. So at the end of the day, here's the thing. This case, I don't even know why they're in court. This case is BS. They know it's BS. They have the statement from the driver of the car. There was a camera in the car. They have statements from other witnesses who were there on the scene who said that he did not put his hands on her. They have the fact that the police were coaching her the next day, trying to tell her what to say. And let's not forget that she didn't call the police that night. She called the police at 11:45 or somewhere around 11 a.m. or after 11 a.m. the next morning. Okay? And the injuries that she claims to have had, I believe she did that to herself. I believe that's why she waited to call the police. If someone has been brutalizing you, abusive to you, and all of this, and you're already afraid of them, and then they do something to you in front of people, why wouldn't you call the police right there? This woman is lying, and they're just trying to destroy this black man and bring him down. Unlike Diddy, who needs to be brought down. This is a real case of where they're trying to bring a black man down. Please pay attention. Please pay attention. And she's just bitter and mad because that man doesn't want her. And I find it interesting that she started that whole debacle with him in March because she thought that a woman had texted him or whatever. At the end of the day, if she was so afraid of him and he was so abusive, why did she care? Make that make sense. Okay? Make that make sense. No, she can't, and neither can they. All right, that man needs to be acquitted because this is all a whole bunch of BS. Jay Gray said, Miss Coretta Scott King, really? Well, basically what he was saying, beloved, in my opinion, of course, I think he was basically telling her that she needs to act classy because she came home tipsy when she went out with her friends, okay? And you know, a lot of us in our community think that that's unladylike. I know I do. I know my grandmother always taught us not to do such things, not to drink out of a bottle when you're in a bar or a club or whatever. Okay, you drink out of a glass, not to ever leave tipsy, not to be just walking around tipsy and drunk in public. And so she came home tipsy, and that's probably why he said that. And so anyway, all nefarious. But anyway, I digress. Now, before I go, I'm going to show you all I'm going to show you all 2 quick videos. They're just a few seconds long, but I got to show you all this. We're already late for the next live anyway. But let me show you all this. Now, remember the lady who said she didn't want to go to the Cheesecake Factory? Well, there's another lady who's a whole hood rat with makeup on and a weave. And she's talking about don't ever, ever, ever take her to the Cheesecake Factory. And then someone actually took her to a nice restaurant. And here's what happened. I want you to please pay attention. Oops, sorry, wrong video. Hold on. I think this is it. Here we go.
I don't want to get to know nobody on no low budget. That's what I'm getting to know about you, that you're cheap, okay? I don't want to be with no cheap man. I want to be with a man that got it. And I want to be with a man that don't have no problem spending it. So again, do not take me to the Cheesecake Factory on no first date.
She said she doesn't need a Cheesecake Factory, so I took her to a 5-star restaurant, and she did this.
What?
She belongs to the street.
That's what I want y'all to pay attention to. That's what I want y'all to pay attention to. See, here's the thing. All of these women who keep talking about don't take them this place and that, those are nothing but hood rats. Those are nothing but hood rats. Okay? That's all. The hood rats who are not used to anything and they're trying to act as though that's all they're used to. She didn't even know how to eat a lobster tail. She didn't even know how to eat her noodles like a lady. I would have been so embarrassed if I were the gentleman that took her out. I would have been so embarrassed. And that's how you know. I'm just telling you, that other lady that had on the green dress with the purple lipstick, you should have known she was a hood rat too. You should have known she was a hood rat too. First of all, who wears purple lipstick with a green dress? That's for number one. Okay? Who does that? And then second of all, see, here's the thing. Women who have class, women who are sophisticated and have style and grace, they're not going to go in on a man for taking them to a restaurant that may not be the most expensive. Cheesecake Factory is a nice restaurant. It's a nice restaurant as far as I'm concerned. Talking about don't take them to a chain restaurant. That's somebody who's trying. Let me tell you something. I want you to pay attention. Now, I'm sure you all know that whenever someone pretends to be something that they're not, they over-exaggerate it. Okay, pay attention. Whenever someone pretends to be something that they're not, they over-exaggerate it. These are nothing but hood rats. Try to dress up and put on some makeup, go get a couple of BBLs in some cases and breast implants and all that, and try to act like they're so high and mighty when they're not. Trying to act like, oh, I need to be put up on a pedestal. Well, because I'm a queen, when they're really paupers, okay, and peasants. Now, who eats like that? That's all I'm saying. So, at the end of the day, fellas, when somebody is acting like they're too good to do this, that, and the third, they're mad because you prefer to cook them dinner at home rather than go out and spend money, or they're mad because you take them somewhere like the Cheesecake Factory, which is a nice restaurant, okay? It's not like they were taking that woman to McDonald's. So, with that all being said, you need to leave those type of women alone because at the end of the day, they're not even worth a 5-star restaurant. That's what they're not worth. I promise you. I promise you. When have I lied? When have I lied? Now, I want you all to see this video because this is clearly nefarious. This little bad earth girl, I don't know whose child this is, but her and her mama would have had to get the H up out of my house. I don't know what kind of child that is besides a demon. Okay. East meets West says Queen is on point. Thank you, beloved. That's let me tell y'all something. Say what now? That little demon seed right there. See, that's what I'm talking about. When children do stuff like that, it's the parents' fault. This is the parents' fault. That's why her and her mother would have had to get up out of my house real quick. Real quick. I'd have been so mad. I'd have been so mad. Karma said staged. Beloved, I keep telling y'all, everything is not staged. That was absolutely real because I saw the follow-up on Facebook. Okay? And the little girl is adopted. Oh, no, she's not adopted. She's a foster child. Okay? This is not staged. Y'all need to realize real from fake. Do y'all really think black people gonna cook all that good food to do a darn skit? Y'all are losing common sense. I'm sorry. Y'all are losing common sense at this point. The little girl is a foster kid. And so the mother had the nerve to tell them after they told the little girl to get out. She said, don't make her feel unwanted. Girl, bye. You and your daughter's unwanted at this point. You better get up out of here. You better get up out of here. Okay? That's what I would have to say. But hold on. Wait, there's more. Now look at this.
You want to fight me one-on-one? Well, listen up well. He was my trainer. So I suggest you shut up and sit your ass down.
Sit your ass down
before you have to deal with him.
And I'm ready.
And we're all ready.
Mm-hmm. Child, who left the gate open? Who left the gate open, honey? That's all I need to know. And I'm ready. This is my trainer. Like he was really pointing to somebody big and buff or something. This is all crazy. I don't know who he was talking to. But I bet they're laughing just as hard as I was when I saw that crowd talking about, you want to fight. Get ready. Here's my trainer. And I'm ready. And we're ready. This is all the Pharaohs. Dragon Lily said, I'm dead. Okay? This is all nefarious. Myth King the D said, help. This is all a hot mess. So anyway, beloveds, my time is up. Time for the next live. So tune right black in because we're going to do it all over again. Okay? And this time, I got the receipts. I got so many receipts. That's why I had to do 2 different lives because I would have gotten it all confused with all these receipts. Okay, so with that all been said, each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. With that all being said, I love you all to life. Hope to see you in the next chat. I'm not even going to play the ending song because I'm already late. I don't have time. So peace out. Deuces.